I just couldn't go a whole week without talking about Rain Dakota Prescott, right? I couldn't go a whole week, right? So the news out there is that they re-engaged or reopened the conversation for the nation of Dak Prescott's salary, about his money, about his paper. They saying that the annual salary will be 35 mil if he is signed on the dotted line for this. I think it's like a 4 or 5 year contract, $107 million guaranteed. Y'all do the quick math, whether it's 4 or 5. My thing is, we talked about money earlier, right? This week we talked about the Cowboys got the money. They got the money. It will be even more money now. If Dak Prescott signed to a long-term contract, what would happen is the $33 million or the 32 or 31, whatever the franchise tag will be a whole lot less because it won't count for this particular year as all of the money gone. So what would happen here, dare I say, would be prorated, whatever his signing bonus would be, even if it's 15 mil or 16 mil, you can prorate, stretch that thing out, and you have more money to spend on whoever you want to go out there and grab. Now, this team, they did make some moves. They are trying to make some moves as it relates to the defensive side of the ball. I still don't know which direction they're going to go as it relates to the draft, whether it be offense, whether it be defense, the philosophy of Mike McCarthy, the new philosophy of Mike McCarthy, because all of this stuff's supposed to change, right? All of this is supposed to change. And I'm talking about the fact that Mike McCarthy, he said he looked over everything while he was sitting at his home on the couch, chilling like a villain, basically. So he said that he recalculated and remapped out everything, going to use more analytics and things like that. So it could be a change in the situation as it relates to that draft action, right? It could be, hey, I'm going to change this thoughts, or I'm going to let these people do more, you see? So I don't know. But as far as Dak Prescott goes, I think quarterback classes are quarterback classes. And I think that quarterback ages every 5 to 10 years. There's a new age. Not as it relates to this person is 25 or this person is 30, but an age, or a new beginning, or a new flavor, or a different type of philosophy, or a different type of scheme. It just, some quarterbacks fit the mold to last for a long time. It was the age of Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. It was the age of that particular quarterback era. It just so happened that Tom Brady, boy, lasts forever. and believe it or not, Peyton Manning had a long run at it too. So that was their age in that particular class. They've been the top dogs of that class. And then you seen the era, of Michael Vick and the poor man's Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb. And now what I believe is, and of course you had that mid-age. You guys can go down that age bracket. You know what I'm talking about? Not age and how old you are, but age as it relates to the era of the quarterback, or time at which they played in. Like, for example, the 90s era, there was a Troy Aikman. Jim Kelly was right before Troy, but he fell in that era. John Elway, Brett Favre. Well, Brett Favre was right at the edge of that era. He came in and he kind of went into this new age. He kind of helped lead the way, dare I say, to a Kurt Warner, a Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady, basically. If that makes any sense. I hope I'm not going all the way around with this. I fell into a trap now, right? And Tony Romo, he fell into that age era of Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, you say. And believe it or not, Tony Romo, if it wasn't for Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, oh boy. And Drew Brees, he still falls in that category of that old age. And the old age is about to change. This new era is approaching, because the Matt Ryans, the Matthew Staffords, those boys, they did a good job as it relates to just that base. Not talking about win, loss columns, just that base. Follow me when I'm talking about this, Cowboy Nation, and those who watch the channel who's not even Cowboys fans. What I'm trying to say is this right here. This new age is consistent of, you have the Pat Mahomes that's just nasty. That boy just flat out nasty. Lamar Jackson, I know a lot of people put him on a pedestal, but he got to show it to us one more year. Just one more year, and then we'll put him in that bracket of like, oh, wow. And he may just do that. I think that who opened the door, who opened the box for a lot of people was, believe it or not, was Cam Newton, although he's out there on the streets. He opened that. He was part of another age. And y'all can, paint that picture, and it spilled over. Of course, Aaron Rodgers, he spilled over to this new age. Russell Wilson. So what I'm saying is that Dak Prescott falls within this new age. And we will see how in the next 5-year span or the next 10-year span, because quarterback lasts a long time, right? We'll see where he falls in between the Carson Wentz, the Jared Goff, of course, the Pat Mahomes, and your boy Russell Wilson. See if he can carry on his skill set. Let me know if I've gone too far in the rabbit hole. Sometimes you jump down and now you can't climb yourself up out of it. Where do you guys put Dak Prescott? If he do sign a 4 to 5 year deal, how would he come out within the parameters of these quarterbacks that's listed now? Because even Baker Mayfield, he's in his age, right? The other kid that's played for the Arizona, I forgot his name, the small, short dude, y'all put his name down. I think his name is Murray or something. What would he do his second year? Because first year, although we just talking about stats, not win-loss column, he did a good job. I think was he rookie of the year? Help me out. I think he was rookie of the year. So what I'm trying to say, Cowboy Nation, we got 4 to 5 years. Even if you try to hit that recycle button, rinse, and say, okay, we're going to go in and we're going to go out there and pick up another quarterback. Where would that quarterback fall in? See how crazy this thing can go? So some people say, hey, when you see a trend and you see that trend, you see that person every year growing and elevating themselves, you might want to catch a ride onto that person and ride the wave. You might want to do that. You surely want to do that. And when you got Mike McCarthy, who is a football whiz, who also can help develop quarterbacks, I think we probably followed in the right places things are. So we got weapons. We got a different approach to it as it relates to defense, especially as that front four. That's going to be nasty. My biggest reservation, and I had to talk about a little bit about the defense because everybody knows that I don't like defense. I love it. We still have our reservations as it relates to cornerback play. I do know I like my brother from another mother, Jordan Hip Pocket Lewis, but I just don't know what the Cowboys organization really going to do with Jordan. I don't know. Is they going to put him out there on the side that Byron Jones that's left? Are they going to try to do that? Or are they going to just sit there and say, okay, we're going to keep you at the slot and then we're going to draft another guy or go out there and get a guy in the free agency after the draft? I don't know. I don't know. But I will say within the next 4 to 5 years, if they do decide to sign Dak Prescott, we will have more money to go out there and get whoever we want, and it will be zero excuses. On top of that, I have to say this, the money will always increase. The new collective bargain agreement then gave them an extra game. As a matter of fact, they were smart enough to put the extra game in the playoff means more money. On top of that, when you have more money, the NFL been increasing anywhere from 15 to 25% every year as it relates to total revenue, which increases the actual salary cap. And you're looking at paper, baby. So whoever signs today will be outdated next week. You see, that's just how crazy this thing is growing. And on top of that, I think that this COVID-19 stuff is going to pass away. I think so. Once it get hot, I'm talking about extremely hot, and the flu season is over with, it's going to get back down and back time to playing some good old football, some spring football, some summertime football, whatever you may want to call it. They're going to be out there. Pads, baby. You're going to hear that click, clack. Cowboy Nation, That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Don't forget to leave me your thoughts. Leave me your concerns. Hit that like button. Share this content. Let that friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Sports Talk and Beyond. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours again. And remember, you're listening to nothing, and I mean nothing but the best. Let's go. We out.